Matt James, the powerhouse vocalist from Blacktop Mojo, is my guest this week on the Boston Chris podcast. Y'all check it out.
It's time to jam. It's time to mingle. It's time to see what everyone's drinking. It's time to jam. It's time to mingle. It's time to see what everyone's drinking. Until we all lose connection.
Hey there, it is Mike Tramp, known from once being in Wildline, Freak of Nature, and all of the above. You are, of course, both listening and watching the Boston Chris Show. What could be better?
Hey guys, Boston Chris with another awesome episode of the Boston Chris podcast. And man, we have a treat for y'all today. A longtime friend, man. I've known Matt for probably 10 years or more at this point. Matt James from, of course, Blacktop Mojo, also making a huge name for himself solo as well, which I'm excited to talk about the differences between the two projects. Matt, how you been today, man?
Been good, brother. How are you?
Yeah, you're in Palestine today, right? Or Palestine?
Yeah. I'm over in Frankston right now. but
Frankston. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
So
East
yeah,
Texas.
pretty much East Texas. Yeah, dealing with all the pollen like the rest of us, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and man, one thing I wanted to talk about straight away is since the last time we talked, you've become a family man. And so how's that going for you?
It's going awesome. That's actually why I'm up here right now. My granny's watching my little boy, and I'm getting some work done. So
Nothing beats it, right?
nothing.
Yeah. It's definitely a strange thing going from kind of living for yourself to realizing that you're living for others, and boy, it's tough sometimes to wrap your mind around that.
Yeah, man. It's you get real good at juggling your time, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have to balance your time in a different way too, and kind of cut out the toxic things that don't really do much for you anymore, and realize what's worth living for. And that could be eye opening, man, especially on the road.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely a lot less partying and carrying on, I'd say, on the road.
So, a little bit of an icebreaker question I have. What's your favorite drinks right now? What have you been drinking, alcoholic or not?
I mean, I still drink beer here and there, and I'm drinking. Still addicted to all kinds of different energy drinks and stuff. So today it's Rockstar Focus. So yeah,
Perfect for an interview. The focus is on the rock
Trying
star,
to-
by God.
trying to hone in, dude.
Yeah, I understand. Man, I've never interviewed you one-on-one. We've had you on the show twice as part of the entire band over the years. So it's really cool kind of to pick your brain individually. You grew up in Rusk, right?
Yeah, man. I went to high school over there.
So what was it like growing up in that area? I know, just so people know out there, Rusk is deep in the woods of East Texas.
Yeah, man. It's a town of about 5,000 people. I think my graduating class had 126, 7 kids in it. So you know everybody.
Mhm.
Everybody knows you. And most of the time when you do something stupid, everybody knows about it before you get to school the next day. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. It's much like pretty much every small town around here. So
And what are some lessons you learned growing up that you still kind of apply to your life today?
oh, that's a good question. I don't know, man. I guess don't do stupid stuff the night before so people find out about it at school the next day. Yeah, I don't know.
So was there anything like specific from your parents that you kind of lean on today that you learned from them?
Um, that I guess family's the most important thing for sure.
Yeah.
We still all lean on each other a lot, and we're a very tight knit family. So, like I said, I'm out here in Frankston. My mom and my grandma are in the other room watching my son. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you how close we are, then I don't know what will.
That's badass, and you always come home
Yeah.
too, man. I know that you're always,
Yeah.
always coming back to East Texas, and so you still pretty much full time live here, and when you're not on the road.
Yeah, yeah. We I think all of us live in East Texas now. And then it's a good home base, good jumping off point for going all over the place.
Yeah. So, man, one thing I'd like to talk about is kind of like your musical influences because, like, obviously you're from East Texas. East Texas is so inundated with country music, as we all know, and
Definitely.
your vibe obviously is hard rock and even bordering on metal at times. But you got the solo project now, which is a little bit more country-ish. So,
Definitely.
talk about your influences. They had to be kind of all over the place, right?
Man, they really are. I think I listen to everything from Merle Haggard to Matchbox 20 to Pantera. I mean, it goes everything in between that. You know what I mean? Yeah, my playlist is very, very bipolar, schizophrenic.
Yeah. My wife calls it polyjamorous.
Polyjamorous. It's a great word for it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what she's a writer, so she comes up with some good shit, man. So I just nod my head in agreement a lot with her.
That's, happy wife, happy life. So,
That's absolutely correct.
So-
Absolutely correct.
so I've heard.
Yeah. Those are good words to live by, for sure. Man, so I love the new project, the solo stuff. I've been listening to it a lot lately, and so what was kind of the genesis for that? Because I know you're uber busy with Blacktop Mojo and all of that stuff, and so then when I saw you releasing kind of your own a different style of stuff, what was the impetus for that? Why did you decide to do a solo project as well?
Well, like you said, Blacktop Mojo's it's more geared toward hard rock.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge country music fan, and we do live in Texas, like you said. So the impetus was like it's a lot easier to get shows around. You can get a lot of shows around Texas playing country music, and so we kind of put the love for country music and writing different songs and stuff like that mixed with being able to play more often when we're at home, when we're not on the road in between Blacktop Mojo tours, and kind of put all that together. And I think 4 out of the 5 guys in the band play in the solo project as well. So it's a nice little side gig from all the Blacktop Mojo.
Do you feel like the audiences change from one to the other?
Not really. Maybe a little bit, but definitely just venues changed. I think it's definitely playing some different places. And
Isn't that funny though? How your audience can remain the same no matter what kind of music you're playing, but the venues are more open to you because of what you're playing. Right? That's just strange.
Yeah. I mean, the venues are creating a vibe. They have their own,
Yeah.
way they are and everything. But I feel like everybody's a little more polyjamorous these days, man. We have
absolutely.
access to the entire catalog of recorded music. You know what I mean? So it's at all times in your pocket. So it's kind of a lot more people discover a lot more stuff all the time, and they're into a lot more different stuff. So you got a lot of crossover there. So.
Yeah, and it's really kind of it's creating some really dope artists nowadays, isn't it? Like,
yeah, man.
Man, it's such a cool time to be a music fan because of that, that smorgasbord of influences that are hitting people. I think it has a lot to do with that DIY independent age, where just about anybody can record music, which is a good and a bad thing, obviously. But like, man, being able to hear somebody you never would have heard in the major label days is just super cool as a fan. But yeah, I was like, when I first saw that you and Kat were doing kind of duo shows, which I also love, by the way, the toned down acoustic stuff that you guys can do, which a lot of bands can't get away with, to be honest. The talent has to be top notch. Let's talk about your vocals, man, because me and my wife have dubbed you the voice. I don't know if you remember that, but we've called you the voice for years and years. You must hear it a lot, right, about your vocals. But like from the standpoint of artistry, how much are you really focusing on a strategy with your vocals, like delivering a lyric, or knowing when to do this or knowing when to do that? Like how in tune are you with your vocals at times?
I mean, when it comes to like technical stuff and taking care of your voice, I definitely have kind of a routine, a regimen. Like when we're on the road, when we got to do it night after night, and you're beating the shit out of your voice.
Yeah.
You got to take care of it. So different warm ups and cool down, and proper technique and all that kind of stuff play into the longevity. A lot of it. Backing off the party, like you were saying, not staying up till 4 a.m. every night and carrying on. Definitely plays into the longevity on tour. As far as like the art part of it, I mean, I feel like music definitely has to create. It all comes from feelings, man. It's so when we're recording stuff, it's really about what kind of feeling you're trying to feel that feeling as you're putting it on wax or whatever,
Yeah.
And so there might not be as much technicality in doing all that, but yeah.
And do you ever come out of the studio having recorded something and then have to, you have to play these songs live and sing these songs live later? Do you ever have regrets? Man, I wish I hadn't done that in the studio. Now I got to replicate it every night on tour.
All the time. It's terrible. I can't. Sometimes it's hard to listen to yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, man, I wish we'd have done that there.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't felt it quite that much, right?
Or or man, I wish we would have done this completely different or whatever. But that's what's cool about playing them live, especially after you've had a song out for 10 years or so. You can everybody is kind of feeling the, I don't know, fatigue, for lack of a better word. So we're all creative
the
dudes,
road fatigue, absolutely, yeah.
right? And we're all creative dudes, so it's kind of like, hey, what if we did this a little different on this one tonight or whatever, and take the songs to some different places where they don't.
Are you still using the guys as session players as well? Because I know back when we talked, you guys were doing all the recording yourself, not using that many other musicians.
Yeah, we still do that. We'll bring in people like, for stuff that we're not experts in,
Right.
keys and organ and horns or whatever else, but or if you want a different texture on a background vocal or something like that, you bring in, a group of ladies to do the old school Rolling Stones type of backgrounds or whatever, so.
I love that though. I've always really respected you guys for that, and I imagine that really helps with the being able to replicate it on the road. And I mean, people want to hear when you're touring and you're selling your records, people want to hear what they heard live. And I mean, if it differs too much, that can definitely give you a bad rap and all that. But I've always respected BTM for that. You guys have always kind of used your own folks. And I mean, you and Nathan essentially formed Blacktop Mojo. It's been 13 years now that you guys have been out there rocking. Can you believe that?
No, man. I think 13 years in December. So.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Played our first show.
And I know back when y'all first started, it's so hard for those of y'all that are watching from outside of East Texas, man. It is so hard here for a rock band to play anywhere locally. Like there's just not many venues here. So in a way, you almost have to. I guess you'd have to lean on your originality to try to get venues, in the bigger cities. Is that what you guys had to do? Was there some struggles early on?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we luckily Palestine's kind of in the center of a lot of stuff. It's 2 hours to Dallas, 2 hours to Houston, 3 hours to Austin, 2 hours to Shreveport. So we had a good little home base for like, okay, this weekend we got a couple shows in Dallas. This weekend we got a couple shows in Houston. But yeah, there was definitely a big, we were playing like cover gigs and stuff, which in, different bars and dance halls, whatever around that might be closer and more local, but and those pay pretty good.
Yeah.
So like the main challenge was when you go to play those rock bars, they were they'd count tickets at the door. Like they'd ask everybody, who are you here to see? And then at the end of the night, you only get paid for however many tally marks you got next to your name. So, there's some nice, you get paid $50 and you spent more than $50 parking your van and trailer in Deep Ellum or whatever, So, really, really, we're out there doing it for the love of the game at that point. So.
Yeah. And those cover gigs are not going to get you on a national tour at any time, right? So,
not really, man. They're fun and they're pretty extensive too, though. They're like 4 hours.
Well, I've always kind of liked kind of y'all's strategy
Yeah.
for using cover songs, like especially on social media, YouTube, wherever. You guys, you put out really good cover material. It gets a lot of visibility on YouTube and the other platforms. Did you guys just kind of, I hate to say willy-nilly, are you just willy-nillying those songs, or is there some thought process between, like, which ones do we want to put out?
Man, it really has been pretty willy-nilly for most of our decisions and things that we've done in the past. So,
well, it's definitely worked out, like the Dream Ons and a Whole Lot of Loves, and I mean, they're exploding on social media and stuff, and I mean that's going to be good. But do you feel like those cover songs help kind of funnel people to your original material? Is that how it works for Blacktop Mojo?
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, there's a bunch of people that we've met, touring here, there, and everywhere that have like, man, the first thing I saw was your cover of In the Air Tonight, or your cover of this or that.
Yeah.
And and then they go and they're like, who's this? And they listen to some of the rest of our stuff, and I guess they liked it enough to come buy a ticket. So that's I guess that's what you're looking for. You know?
The originals is where it's at, man. I got to tell you, I've got like eight or nine people in my family, and we all have a different favorite Blacktop Mojo song. Like that's
awesome.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. Like the wife is Prodigal Son, mine is Burn the Ships. Like we all have different songs. Of course, I love Where the Wind Blows as well. I mean, it's just, you guys are phenomenal and very original artists as well. How are the songs being written? Is it mainly you? Is it a collaborative process, or?
It's a pretty collaborative process for the most part. We'll get in a room and kind of jam some stuff and share ideas. Now that we don't all live in the same house anymore, we kind of have to share ideas through, recording something and sending it off to everybody, and then sending ideas back and forth. But for the most part, it's pretty collaborative. I mean, even if I write something in my room by myself and it's like the chords and the lyrics or something, it still needs that full band touch most of the time. So,
it's probably helpful to hear from your boys what they hear in certain parts of the songs, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And does the process differ? Actually, let me ask you it this way. When you're writing a song, do you make a decision between whether it goes for BTM or the solo project, or are you writing differently for each project?
A little bit, man. I'm just kind of writing all the time. And then once the song kind of takes a little bit of shape, I think the guys are kind of like, that'd be a good BTM song, or that'd be a good this.
Yeah.
I don't think, you're not like, let's sit down and write a Blacktop Mojo song right now, or let's sit down and write a solo song. You just kind of, they fall where they may,
Yeah, I think the reason why I wanted to ask that one is because like Wild Horses, which is a song that, it's an acoustic song essentially, that you guys added to the Pollen album. And I could see that as being part of your solo project, because it is a little more toned down, a little more country feeling. So I was curious why that one made it to BTM and not to the solo stuff.
it just felt like that song fit that record, man. It was kind of it was more of a Southern classic rock kind of feeling album. So
Yeah. It was the last track too, wasn't it?
yeah, and we usually try to end the album with the softer track
Yeah.
to go out on, and that was the one for that album for sure.
Yeah, it's a great song, man. I love that tune.
Yeah.
It's such a cool song. I play it a lot. Oh man, but yeah, I was like, man, that would be a cool take for like the Matt James stuff too. And so I just wanted to hear like what's in your mind when you're deciding which goes where and how difficult that might be for you. Is it more or less like, or do you have like self-imposed deadlines, or even like maybe deadlines with a record label or something like that, where you have to write songs for a record in a certain amount of time and you're trying to compile them that way?
Not really. It's more self-imposed. We don't have a
Yeah.
label, so we're still independent, and so we kind of have to put the deadlines on ourselves. But most of the time, we'll write for a year or two. We're writing all the time, so there's always these bits and pieces and stuff of ideas, and then at a certain point, we'll be like, all right, well, we have time to go record in this few months right here at the end of the year, say, and we'll be like, all right, well then let's start getting to work on what we're gonna do, in this period of time that we have to actually go record some stuff and make some new music. So then that puts the deadline on there, because you're like, okay,
Yeah.
well, now we got to make writing and getting these songs fleshed out a little more of a priority.
Is there a lot of pressure on you at that point, or are you still just kind of like, free and easy?
It's pretty free and easy. I mean, the last record we did, the Pollen record, we pretty much wrote that in the studio when
Wow.
we were doing it. We kind of just, like I said, had all these bits and pieces, and it was the first record that we'd done like that. Records in the past, we would have, I don't know, 6 months to a year of like pre-production where we're like kind of recording parts over and over and arranging the songs, and then when we finally do go in the studio, they're all fleshed out, they're all hashed out, and we didn't do that on this last one. We just kind of got in there with the ideas and flushed them out on the spot, kind of.
Speaking a little bit about the studio, I always love to ask this question: what is more fun for you as an artist, being in the studio or being on the road?
I don't know. I like them both for different reasons, man. I love being in the studio. Hopefully I can do that for the rest of my life, but I enjoy our time on the road, because I know that's, at a certain point, you may not be able to do that. You may not be able to perform,
Yeah.
whether that, for whatever reason that might be, be that age or a lot of people lose their voices as they get older.
Yep.
Or like, or you get arthritis in your hands or whatever, or you back problems, or
Yeah,
could
it's
be
not
anything.
forever.
But,
Yeah, we talked. I don't know if you
yeah,
remember
so-
White Lion from the '80s.
yeah.
We talked with Mike Tramp on the show, and he re-recorded all of his hits from back then. And I said, "Man, why are you re-recording all this stuff?" He said, "Man, I don't fuck the same way as I did when I was 21." Basically saying I don't sound the same, I don't do the same things. So, he's still touring 200 dates a year, and he's like, "Man, I can't do the songs like they sounded back then, so I wanted to re-record them the way I sound now."
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a cool answer, man. We did talk a little bit earlier about family. So now that you're a family man, how more difficult is that, kind of balancing that with the road life and writing and being in the studio? Now you've got a family to look at as well.
Yeah, man. I think I have a pretty good situation that a lot of people don't. My son's mom is a great mom, takes great care of him. And then when I'm gone, I have my family here, so he'll come to my family on the days that I'm supposed to have him, when I'm on the road and everything like that. And luckily, we live in the age of technology, so we can FaceTime. And we
and
can,
all that.
talk and do all this stuff. And yeah, man, but it does suck sometimes. You feel like you're missing a lot because they grow and they change really fast when they're not little. So
Man, I imagine you'd almost want to book tours that are shorter, right? Because you know that longing is going to be there.
yeah, I think we definitely have, man. We used to go out for 2 months at a time, sometimes three, and now we'll go out for about 3 or 4 weeks at the longest, and then make sure we get a little break at home. So
Yeah.
even if we're going right back out, you still got to have that little bit of home time
Mhm.
in between
And I
everything.
feel like just as a fan, like I think that's the number one reason why bands break up, right? Is because of family. Like family becomes more important, and I mean that's obvious. Family should be number one always, and so it's going to be
Definitely.
difficult to balance the two and make sure that everybody is happy. And it's tough, man. Super tough.
Yeah.
You're going to lose musicians because of that, and I mean, the music life is super. It requires a lot of attention. Let's put it that way. In order to make
It does.
yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back with Matt James. We're going to have our having fun segments with Matt, and we'll see what his answers are going to be.
I'm putting it together right now, and I'd love to get it out that any student, I don't care how old you are or what, if your heart lies within this kind of domain of the sound, playing, any of that, I'm gonna start taking one day out of every couple of weeks and invite students in for a very small charge, and I will tell you whatever you want. Any question you got, I'll try to answer it.
Well, I will certainly put that out there. I'll make this a little ad for you, and we can share it.
Because they'll have full access to the studio, everything. I can tell them everything about how all of this started from analog into the digital world, and you'll be able to have hands-on. And I'll show you why analog sounds better than digital.
Amazing. Yeah, I'll definitely cut this out. I'll make a little ad out of it, and we can share it everywhere.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Because I'd love to do it. That's my legacy, is to leave with.
It's the pass it down, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all right, so we are back. Matt, I got a bunch of little short segments here that we're going to put out on TikTok and stuff. I think you'll like these.
Right.
If you remember back in the day, we always had wacky shit happening on this show. So the first one is called Did You Know? Can you tell us something that your fans may not know about you?
I got a tattoo in my living room one time from our bass player.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Next one is called Mount Rushmore. What four bands are on your Mount Rushmore of bands?
Led Zeppelin, Soundgarden, Tool, and oh man,
Yeah, the
put
hard
me on the
last
spot.
one.
I know. I'm having trouble right now, dude. Bands.
Are you down to two, or are you just
We'll
can't think of
go Prince. We'll go Prince in the Revolution.
in the Revolution? That'll work. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next one's called What the Heck? This is just 5 rapid fire questions. Just tell me the first thing that pops into your brain. If you wrote a book, what would it be about?
Aliens.
Nice. Do you have a song with a person's name in the title?
I don't think so.
He's
I can't
trying
remember.
to go through the Rolodex.
It's too many songs.
All right, if your pet could talk, what would it say about you?
Feed me.
Yes, I agree. What do you think is your weirdest talent?
Singing. Singing's kind of a weird talent. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yelling at my
Or screaming, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite age so far, and why?
This one. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't change anything.
Don't want to go back and not really wanting to go forward, right?
Nah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I understand where you're at. All right, that was what the heck, awesome stuff. All right, next one's called One Artist. Who is one artist that you would love the whole world to know about, and it can't be yourself?
Chris Cornell.
Oh man, I love that answer. His daughter is fantastic. I don't know if you've seen her.
She is. She is. Yeah.
Yeah, she is amazing. I'm really digging her a lot. Tony Cornell, I think, right? If I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
Next one's called Wishlist. What is on Matt James' wish list?
I would like to play at Red Rocks, and
I can't believe
Yeah,
that hasn't happened yet.
yeah.
We'll have to get them on the phone. Come on, y'all.
Wish list. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. All right, personal best is the next one. What do you think? This doesn't have to be music related either. What do you think is your personal best accomplishment so far?
Having my son. I actually just being there when he was born, I guess.
Yeah,
I didn't physically have him, so I didn't
that's a
do
great
much.
feeling, though, isn't it, man? Knowing that
Yeah.
you helped sustain life, essentially.
Yeah.
It's
We made a little dude.
yeah, and you didn't run away, man. Dude. The first time, man, I was just like, I didn't know whether to shit or go blind, dude. Like,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, man, what a moment, dude. Speaking of moments, the next one is called Biggest Impact. Is there a person or event in your life that really kind of changed the trajectory of your success? Like, looking back, was there one moment or person that changed your path?
I definitely have to say my granddad. He's done a lot. Both of my grandparents have done too much to even recount right now. I would not be here if not for them, for sure.
Awesome. And so 2025 is upon us. What is in the future for you and everything you got going on coming up?
We have a tour coming up in June. We're going all over the East Coast, and then in August we're going on the road with Clutch, hitting a bunch of places out west and then in the Midwest, and going to Vancouver, Canada for the first time.
Wow.
And yeah, and then hopefully some new music.
When are you going to Vancouver? It gets cold up there.
In August, so like
Woo!
perfect time of the year.
Yeah, it might not be too bad then. Probably
Yeah,
only
yeah.
be in the low 40s maybe.
Yeah.
I got to let everybody know there are two different websites. The first is for the solo project. It is mattjamesofficial.com and blacktopmojo.com for the band stuff. And he tours differently with each. Blacktop Mojo tour information and tickets. You can get all of that at blacktopmojo.com. All the social medias you could ever want are at your fingertips there as well. Just make sure you're checking out the tour dates because they do change pretty quickly, don't they?
Yeah, man, we've been adding a lot of them. So
Yeah. Well, Matt, I appreciate you taking some time with us today, and I appreciate you big time, man. We wish you all the future success in the world, my dude.
thanks, brother. Appreciate you having me.
Hey everybody, it's me, Jarrett, from your favorite band, Bowling for Soup. Thank you for tuning in to the Boston Chris podcast.